Bolt, Ben, Hines. These are not just words. These are names. Names of superhumans who broke the human ability to run 1 second per 10 meters. Cheetahs are known for their speed in the wild, but humans have started to add that to their flair. Speed has been an intriguing fact to the human spirit for centuries, from walking legs, to bikes, to cars, and not we fly the planes. With each development comes the ability to reach a destination faster. Since the start of sports competition, the 100-meter sprint has been the pinnacle of sport. It has always been the buzz. It is the benchmark test of speed, a race that lasts less than 10 seconds or less. For centuries, athletes have extended the limits of human achievement, inching ever closer to a sport benchmark once believed to be impossible, covering 100-meter races in less than 10 seconds. The 100-meter dash has been a major sport of the Olympic Games since their contemporary beginning in 1896. Earlier sprinters, or athletes if you'd like, in the early 20th century lingered in the range of 10.3 to 10.5 seconds. In 1936, Jesse Owens stunned the globe at the Berlin Olympics with a 10.3-second dash, sealing his reputation as much a speed demon as he was an icon of defiance and greatness. Yeah, 10.3 seconds. But breaking the 10-second barrier felt like an illusion to many athletes. Many thought the feat to be impossible for many years. The equipment on the tracks was rudimentary, and the timing devices were not as accurate as those available today. Before the reign of Usain Bolt, there was the pioneer. At the Mexico City Olympics in 1968, Jim Hines broke the record by becoming the first man in history to officially run 100 meters in less than 10 seconds. His 9.95 seconds stunned the world and was officially acknowledged when fully automatic timing machines were introduced. Hines's achievement was not just the result of his sheer ability. It was not aided by the high elevation of Mexico City and evolving training methods. But his statement was clear. The psychological barrier had been overcome. What followed, however, wasn't an inflow of multiple sub-10 sprinters. Hines's record stood for 15 years. The 10-second barrier, technically broken though it was, continued to be beyond the reach of most. The 1980s witnessed a new crop of sprinters dominating the track. Canadian sprinter Ben Johnson famously broke the 10-second barrier on several occasions, but his moment came after a record-breaking 9.79 seconds at the 1988 Seoul Olympics. But Johnson's downfall came soon enough. Johnson tested positive for steroids, and the record was invalidated. But the pathway has been opened. During the 1990s, stars like Carl Lewis, Donovan Bailey, and Linford Christie were consistently clocking times in the low 10s and high 9s. Bailey clocked 9.84 seconds at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics, and Maurice Green lowered the record to 9.79 seconds in 1999. It was no longer a question of how to shave off 10 seconds. The real question now was, how fast can the human body move? Before you answer, come Usain Bolt, a name that forever changed sprinting. At the 2008 Beijing Olympics, 21-year-old Bolt ran the 9.69 seconds in one of his races that he infamously began celebrating before crossing the finishing line. In 2009 at the Berlin World Championships, Bolt stunned the world by running the 100 meters in 9.58 seconds, a record that still stands today as the world record. At 6 feet 5 inches, his long stride and unruffled composure rewrote the rulebook on what a sprinter should look like. Unlike everyone else, Bolt appeared to win with ease. His dominance revived international interest in sprinting, and within one night, running under 10 seconds became the benchmark for world stars. Athletes from countries far removed from historic sprinting countries have joined this sub-10 club. We have people like South Africa's Akani Simbine, China's Bingtian Su, and Qatar's Femi Ogunodi, just to name a few. Bingtian Su's 9.83 seconds at the 2021 Tokyo Olympics was a benchmark not just for China, but for all of Asia, showing the world that elite sprinting wasn't exclusive to Europe or America. With Bolt no longer in the sport and new generations of sprinters ready to take the stage, the 100-meter dash is changing. Emerging stars like Trayvon Bromell, Christian Coleman, and Letsile Tebogo are getting close to the 9.6-second threshold, and word is that someday we will see a 9.4-second mark. Just one day. Every generation has its hero of the sub-10 seconds club, from Jesse Owens to Jim Hines, Carl Lewis to Usain Bolt, and everyone has inspired a new generation to be faster, harder, better. The screams had hardly subsided from piercing the air at the Botswana Golden Grand Prix when Akani Simbine had crossed the finish line, arms raised in muted victory. The clock read 9.90 seconds, a mark which not only guaranteed him the win on that day, but also witnessed one of the greatest achievements in recent sprinting history. With that single race, a headwind on April 19, 2025, Simbine became the first man in history to have broken the 10-second barrier for 11 consecutive years, something never achieved by sprinting greats like Usain Bolt or Asafa Powell. "I wanted this moment," Simbine later stated, "not just for the record, but to show what can happen when you believe year in and year out." Akani Simbine's arrival on the global sprint scene has been one of incremental development, with each successive season overlapping the previous one, each race refining the previous one. Since January of 2015, Simbine has dipped under the 10-second mark once a year, making a niche for himself as perhaps the most consistent and respected sprinter of the modern age. His run in Botswana, where he defeated Kenya's Ferdinand Omanyala, 10.00, and South Africa's Retshidisitswe Mlenga, 10.15, was a class in control and experience, and he did it in a minus 1.4 meters per second headwind, yet had the fastest 100-meter time of the 2025 season. "It wasn't about conditions," Simbine stated. "It was about staying in my rhythm, racing my race. That's what 11 years' experience will do for you." Simbine's achievement is not limited to season successes. During the 2024 Paris Olympics, he achieved a South African national time of 9.82 seconds, which was one of the fastest times ever recorded in the world. There is never a sense of relaxation, just the want to improve. That want has not only made him competitive, but also placed him in rarefied company. With more than a dozen years of top-level performances, Simbine is a template for how longevity in the sprint is achieved: patience, accuracy, and a boundless work ethic. With his record-breaking performance still fresh in the minds of athletics enthusiasts, Simbine is now poised to face the next challenges: the 2025 World Athletics Championships and other international competitions are in the offing, and Simbine comes to them not just as a challenger, but also as a seasoned veteran whose years of experience make him a likely favorite. "I feel like I'm just getting started," he said with a smile in Botswana. "There's still more in the tank." That's not a statement that carries weight about what he's done, but the way he's done it. Others have come through, but Simbine has stood. He hasn't needed to be the loudest guy in the room. His times have spoken for him. And now, with 11 seasons of consecutive sub-10 seconds on his ledger, the word is out there: Akani Simbine is a legend. In a time game, Simbine has given the world something far more valuable than just breaking the record. He gave us consistency, character, and history rewritten.